Brittany Christensen, Executive Director of Adirondack Action, joins us now by Skype. Welcome. It's good to see you.
Hi, Tom. It's great to see you as well.
As we just saw, Adirondack Action sent along some emergency food packages to families in the Boquet Valley School District. All of the students in the school district are having meals delivered to their homes while school is closed due to the coronavirus pandemic. But some families are getting a little more food?
Yeah, exactly. So it's been incredible to watch the school districts around our region respond, and the amount of food that they're putting out to families is unbelievable. And we've identified that there's a need in some families who are receiving school lunch support for other members of the household to also have some additional food support as well. So that's one of the ways that we're getting the emergency food packages out to the public.
So tell us about these emergency food packages. What's in them? What do they contain? And what families receive them?
Yeah, so the emergency food packages are a combination of fresh local food, raw ingredients like fresh greens. We've got raw yogurt from North Country Creamery, apples, beef jerky made at the Hub on the Hill. And then there's also some prepared meals that are frozen and frozen soup as well. And we wanted to do that because everyone comes at food with a different background, and we don't want the food packages to require any special cooking skills. And each box contains about 15 meals worth of food. So we see it as really being a nice complement or supplement to the pantry, whatever someone has in their pantry on hand. It's so hard to get fresh food right now, especially if someone is feeling vulnerable and not wanting to go to the grocery store and expose themselves potentially to the virus. Of course, we're very lucky to have grocery stores that are still open and those supply chains are intact, but some people feel uncomfortable going, and some people are too medically high risk to safely go. So that's why we created these emergency food packages.
And for some of the folks, they're quite a ways away from a grocery store, and there are folks who don't have reliable transportation to get to Plattsburgh or some of the areas where there are the grocery stores.
Precisely. Our region had about 18% of the folks in our region were living with low access to a grocery store before the crisis, and now with some of the bus routes are shutting down, and anyone who's having issues with transportation is certainly in a very tough way right now. And not to mention the economic impact. Somebody that might normally be food insecure is going to be even more food insecure right now, and someone that might normally be getting by could be in a really hard position as well. So we've got economic barriers, physical barriers, and then just accessing fresh food in general is already tough in our region. But right now, for some people, it feels impossible.
And as you mentioned, there are people that have a hard time getting to the grocery store. And then there are the other families right now that are feeling the economic impact from the COVID-19 outbreak. A number of them have lost their jobs. They've lost their paycheck. So suddenly now they don't have the income coming in to go and buy groceries.
Exactly. We're going to have people choosing between paying their rent or keeping their lights on and buying groceries. And hopefully we can help a little bit and help people prioritize their money where it needs to go and not have to worry too much about feeding their families right now.
So who is providing the food to Adirondack Action? Local farmers throughout the Adirondacks?
Yeah, so we have a really strong partnership with the Hub on the Hill for this initiative. And the Hub on the Hill is a food hub in Essex County. It's actually in Essex itself. And they have existing relationships with a lot of the regional farmers, and ADC Action does as well. But we're working together on procurement. And so many farmers already work with the Hub for distribution. So we're just strengthening those relationships and getting as much local food as possible to the Hub to process and to pack these emergency food packages.
So are you paying for the food, or are the farmers donating the food?
We're buying the food from the farmers. That's one of the pillars of this project, is supporting the local farms through this time as well.
And at the same time, are you also employing potentially some of the unemployed people to help with the deliveries to get the food to the Hub on the Hill in Essex, and then to help coordinate and get the deliveries out to the families?
Yeah, exactly. So each emergency food package costs about $55 to produce. $40 of that is money that's being spent directly on food from local farms, and the other $15 per package is going directly to the labor that's putting the packages together. So 80K Action is providing all of its coordinating services in kind, and we're trying to help steer this ship and design this project in a way that works really well for our community and for all of our partners. But the boots on the ground are at the Hub on the Hill, and we're absolutely making sure that their staff is paid and that they can ramp up efforts. We received a grant from the Adirondack Foundation's Special and Urgent Need Fund, the SUN Fund, and the Hub on the Hill also received a grant from that same fund to ramp up their delivery. They're now adding delivery routes, and they're offering a mobile market so that people that can afford to buy food right now but have limited access due to transportation or not wanting or being able to leave their home, they can buy food and have it delivered. And we're taking advantage of that same delivery infrastructure to bring the emergency food packages right to people's doorsteps.
And how many families are you hoping to help with these emergency food packages?
Well, we've set a goal to create and distribute 1,000 emergency food packages over the next 10 weeks. We've just made our fundraising page live today. We had a $7,000 grant from the Sun Fund to kick things off, and just a few minutes ago when I checked, we were already over $20,000 in funds raised for this project, and that's in just a few hours. So I hope that we can feed a lot more neighbors than our initial goal. So to start with, 1,000 emergency food packages, and hopefully from there we can expand that, maybe even double it.
And Brittany, how are the families selected? How do they become eligible? How are they picked?
We're working with partner organizations to identify the individuals who need access to these emergency food packages. There are several really amazing organizations that work directly with individuals, and our partners at the United Way of the Adirondack region are helping to put us in contact with agencies that will refer folks who need this extra food help.
And as you mentioned, on the first day you kicked this off, you had $20,000 in donations already. The community is responding.
Yeah, I think that we all are looking for something to do to help. I think, those of us who feel relatively comfortable at home and have what we need, I think we're all mindful of the people in our community who aren't quite so lucky. So for $55 to be able to provide a week's worth of food is a pretty great value proposition, and we hope that that'll feel approachable. And it's being able to provide people with a way to help feels like a really important mission in and of itself.
And if folks want to help out, what's the best way for them to be part of this?
Yeah, so I would say there's a few things. Obviously go to the fundraising page and donate 1, 2, 10, 20, whatever works for you. Donate some money so that we can get these emergency food packages out to people right away. And then if you are in a position to afford, to buy food, take advantage of the Hub on the Hill's mobile delivery, mobile market program, and also look into some of the food delivery programs that local farms are making available. Several CSAs in our region are now doing door-to-door delivery, and the farmers are working really hard to adapt and serve our community in this really tough time.
And for you folks, are you anticipating that the need may continue? We don't know how long this is going to go on. You've talked about 1,000 of these emergency food packages delivered, but do you see that there's the potential that this program could continue on if this drags on for weeks or even months?
Yeah, absolutely. We're starting with the 10 weeks, 100 EFPs, emergency food packages per week for 10 weeks, because we see that as being a way to address the immediate future. It does seem as though there's new information every day on how long we might be able to expect this crisis to last. But ultimately, we're rolling this out in stages, and we have plans in place to expand the program if the need continues on further from there. We're also engaging with the Essex Farm Institute. It's a program of the Adirondack Council. And Racy Henderson is the coordinator there, and she's just started a great resource where institutions can work together to try to help bolster the local food system during this time. And so there's work happening on several different fronts to try to support farmers and help them have some idea of what to expect, or some way to try to prepare for this season that's going to have much different demands than a normal season for them. And then also to make sure that those people that are, on a continuous basis lacking food access economically and otherwise, that they will continue to have the support as well. So yeah, we're ready to adapt to needs. We've got a great starting point, and we're only going to grow from here.
And the families receiving these emergency food packages, is there a real need? Are they saying to you, telling you that they really need this help?
We had our first 12 emergency food packages go out on Monday of this week, and one of the recipients said that it felt like an answer to a prayer. So yeah.
Brittany Christensen, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.